Hi, John.
Yes.
How are you today?
Wonderful.
I'm
Feeling
glad to
great.
hear it.
Feeling great.
I'm glad to hear it. So I understand you underwent some stem cell therapy here, and I want to ask you a few questions. Again, our overall objective is to help as many as many people as we can. So I'd like to first ask you what condition you were suffering from that led you to research and ultimately decide the stem cell therapy was right for you.
Well, basically in 2012, at Thanksgiving, I was in a car accident where we were hit from behind. We were flipped through the air 4 times, landed on the roof. My wife's brother was driving, showing me around the town in Tucson, and he was killed. He was killed to a point where his body parts were blown all over me. Well, sort of gruesome, but it's the truth. And I ended up with cracked skull, double vision, and my lungs, where the seatbelt came up here, was damaged in here, and where the seatbelt went here damaged my kidneys. But it took several years for all the symptoms to come together, because many times I had lung infections, and sometimes up to 3 times a year, and it would go down and clean my lung up, this side lung up, and this lung, and the kidneys were sort of, on borderline. And then in 2015, I started getting worse. I used 2 inhalers for my asthma. I get my asthma was real bad. 2 inhalers for that, and plus a rescue inhaler. And my kidneys started to get worse. They started to get worse, and then I ended up in the hospital many times for my lungs to be cleared up. But that year, I ended up 10 days in the hospital with kidney failure. And after 10 days, they got me back, and they said that I was class 3, which I'm not sure. Class 4, you have dialysis.
Right.
So I was going to class 4, and my kidneys weren't working, my lungs weren't working. So I was basically, I knew I was dying because nothing. So really, I went to my eye doctor, and in the waiting room was a newspaper. I picked it up and I saw about stem cells. I read about stem cells. Well, it was the next day. So I called my wife and we went to the seminar, and then I signed up for stem cells, knowing that that would probably be the only things that would help me. Well, the day I came into the office here to get preparation for stem cells, to get evaluated, they took an x-ray. Well, that night, I ended up in the emergency room. I couldn't breathe. Of course, I've been in the emergency room many times that I couldn't breathe over the years. And what they did is they took an x-ray of me, and within 2 hours, they kicked me out. Well, the doctor's office here that did my stem cells called me and says, "John, your upper lung is inflamed. Your lower lung is collapsed." And I didn't even talk about my kidneys. And so I knew that I was near the end of my life. And my doctor, MD, wouldn't get me my medicine. They kept sending a mail order, and I found some of my medicine I need. So that was on the 29th of August, and I came in here September, I guess what it was, 3rd or 4th. No, the day before I was in here. And then on the 14th of September, I was still alive and still struggling. And they took my stem cells from my fat cells and gave me the dose that day. I guess it was, 50 million? Yeah. Okay, so I got a big dose.
Right.
And that was on the 14th of September. On the 6th of October, I was going to see my nephrologist for my kidneys. They were 1.7 or something. I went to see my nephrologist, but it wasn't even 3 weeks. Did my blood test before I went to see the doctor, which was about maybe 4 or 5 days. My kidneys were cleared up.
Wow.
Also, I was on an oxygen machine, and I had sleep apnea, plus my oxygen machine, and I would have to go to my oxygen machine at get on there each evening by 7 o'clock, and I used several inhalers during the day, and then I would be on it for 12 hours at least. And I had to sleep sitting up in an upright position, and I could not lay down, because if I lay down, I just would, I couldn't. So then what happened then, pretty soon I wasn't using my oxygen machine. I just returned it. I was down in Florida, so I stopped using my oxygen machine.
And how quickly was that after your procedure that you stopped?
It was about 3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks. So after your stem cell therapy, 3 to 4 weeks later, you could go without using an oxygen machine.
I started going without it, and I started weaning my dose down.
Wow.
And now I'm down to just one inhaler because that is my asthma that I've had since I was a kid.
So just let me just clarify something. Before your stem cell therapy, you just were at your last thoughts of what you were going to do because of your condition.
Yeah.
You had no other options.
No other options. I was at the end of options, and the doctor said there was nothing they could do. And when I went to the emergency room and they kicked me out, literally kicked me out, and just sent me home without my medicine and everything. And I found some old medicine I had from 2003. My wife found a box, and then I used that to help me with my breathing until I got my stem cells. But then after my stem cells,
so you started feeling better almost
about 2
days.
weeks. Yeah,
about 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks after you started feeling better,
Yeah.
and right now today you are down to using the use of one inhaler.
Yeah, and I'm no oxygen machine, and I don't have sleep apnea. Now
You're quite the success.
Now I have a bed. I have a bed that's a hospital bed like this. Now I put the bed down all the way that I could sleep that way. Before I could never sleep down.
Right.
My oxygen level used to drop down to 87, 88 and everything. So I had the sleep apnea, and that's why I had oxygen, plus I had oxygen for my lungs, and my blood oxygen were running 88, 89, maybe 90.
So now
I went to the doctor a week ago, it was 96.
Wow. Wow. So
and
that's
I'm running about
well.
96, 97. And but you know, because of my asthma, I still don't. I have good oxygen, but I still don't have.
So how long has it been? You said September you had your procedure, so it's been about 6 months?
No, but
8 months.
Yeah, about 8 months. Yeah, this is May 14th, so
Right.
September 14th.
Okay, so now, any other restrictions that you were suffering from before? Have you seen an increase, obviously, of your quality of life?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And it's very much improved your condition overall.
Yeah, I'm no longer on oxygen.
Yes,
I sleep well. I sleep well. I breathe well.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So one of our missions is to help as many people as we can. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others if you had the opportunity?
I would recommend it definitely.
Yes.
You have one other option. You can become dust in a bottle, or you can try stem cell and have a quality of life. And
we're going to end on that note. That is good advice.
Okay.
Thank you so much, John.
Thank you.